Hey there everybody, this is DokterD and welcome back to Mousecraft. Let's continue on with level 51. Okay, we got a red toy down here, 1, 2, and a third crystal over here with a bomb, and the cheese over here. Now let's see, we obviously want to collect this crystal, but we need our mice to get over there without grabbing the cheese. So one way how we could do that is have them go down underneath, but this is way too long for them to even survive. So this is not really gonna work. We need them to pass over the cheese in some way. And in order to do that, we need to make a bridge first over here. Now we have one electric brick, and considering we don't want our mice even to get into the water, because then we also have to get them out, we can use this brick in a way to build our bridge. So we can use this one in the water. Another thing is, how are we gonna get over the cheese? Well, once we've blown these up, we need a way for our mice to get over. Well, the only other way we have is this brick right here. This one isn't really gonna cut it because it's only gonna make a wall for our mice. So we are gonna need this one over here in order to have our mice get over and then somehow get towards the crystal and the bomb. But we don't really know how to just yet. We first need to get rid of these. So, let's see what we can do. Well, we want to blow these up, but we don't really want our mice to do that. We have a red toy who can help us. So first let's start building our bridge. We can use this one underwater for a plateau of some sorts. And we've got 2 bombs. Now obviously we are gonna need one of them to blow up this brick right here. But we've got another one. And we've got this construction right here. So if we blow this brick up, this one will drop down. And we can use that for our bridge. So, since we have a lot of these square blocks, maybe we'll just use them over here in order for this brick to fall down upon. And then we start making our bridge. So, we blow this up. First half is done. And then we use 2 square bricks like this in order to make the rest of our bridge. Now let's free our ratoid and have him blow up these bricks at least. Speed it up a little bit. And so now we can think a little bit further. For instance, now that this is all blown up, we still have a little bit of a gap here, so we need to finish this. So we put another square brick right here. And now we need a way for our mice to even pass over the cheese. Well, we just said we were going to use this one right here. But it's not going to be enough, because we also want to clear this water. Now, of course, not with our ratoid. He's just going to go down and die. That's fine. But we can put this brick down like this. This way our mice will be able to go over and have just enough space to pass through. And we can use 2 square bricks like this in order for them to pass over. That way they can collect the crystal and the bomb. The bomb we need to blow up this brick again so they can get to the cheese. But not just yet, because we have 1 more crystal to collect over here. And once our mice turn around and go back, we can use our final brick right here in order to make a stairs upwards. So we're almost finished. So let's have our mice start walking, grab the first crystal, grab the second one and the bomb, turn around, go over here up towards these stairs, collect the final crystal, and since we just picked up the bomb, we can blow up this brick, and now our mice are at the cheese. A little bit of a planning, this one, but yeah, it's okay. So let's go to the next. Okay, we've got a new mechanic here, which is the acid. Basically, this is instant kill water. Let me show you. If we blow up this brick right here, once our ratoids touch it, they immediately die. Same thing goes for our mice. The other thing is, if bricks fall into the acid, they break down. Now, it doesn't really matter which kind of brick it is. Crumbling brick, regular brick, electric brick, all of them crumble down. So we can't really build a bridge within the acid. We have to build over it. Well, what do we have to do in this level? Well, it's a short one. It's a tutorial level. So we need to build a bridge over here and collect this crystal. So we need at least this one right here in order to get a little bit of stairs and then our bridge over the acid, not within. And we can put this one like this, again over the acid, so our mice can collect the crystal and go towards cheese. Now again, these tutorial levels within here are a little bit easy, but they are also pretty good in explaining how mechanics works. So next, we've got a pretty long bridge to build over this entire acid thing over here. So, how do we do that? Well, we have a lot of bricks and we need to basically go from one end to the other. Now, what we can do is go upwards, for instance. Not like that. Like this. And we can build our bridge up in some way. Well, that would be fine, but eventually we are gonna hit the ceiling. And that's not really gonna help us, because behind the screen right here is a crystal. And we want to collect that, of course, together with this one and this one. So we need to try and stay a little bit low. So instead of using these ones, we can also use these ones. This way we can stay as low as possible and still not touch the acid. So we go over here. And I really want this screen to get away. It's really annoying. Anyway, let's see if we can go a little bit further and a little bit upwards. Well, we can use maybe this one. And then maybe this one like this. And, well, let's see if we can also work the other way around. For instance, we want to collect this crystal and have our mice at least reach this end safely. So we can use this one and maybe this one and maybe this one like this. And if we put this one right here, we see we still have a 2-space area to pass over, and we only got one more square brick, which is really not gonna help us. So the flaw is somewhere within here, because basically we can only have one square of our bricks lap over with other bricks in order to get as far away as we can. So we need to try something a little bit different. So let's try at least this again, like this, and maybe use this one in order to go over a little bit more. And then, for instance, try this one to get a little bit of a height. Now, again, if we try and go from the other way, we go like this. And if we try this, for instance, it's not really gonna help us, because if we start building even further, we are gonna block off our shard, and we wanna, our crystal, we wanna collect that. So maybe we try this one first, and then this one. And we can maybe go like this. Now this way, we only have a 1 space gap to get across. And we can put this one like this. It doesn't really matter that it's a crumbling brick, because once 2 mice have passed over, only the top half will be crumbled down. So, let's see. Our mice will start walking. Grab the first crystal. Go over. Collect the second one. Only the top half will crumble down. The third one. And then we're at the cheese. Alright, next. Okay, so we got 2 crystals over here, a bomb up here, and 1 more crystal at the end. With our cheese somewhere awkwardly in the middle. Okay, let's see. Well, we can divide this puzzle basically in 2 halves. Like this, over here. Because if our mice walk down here, they hit this wall and turn back. Which is a good thing, because we want to collect both these crystals, and we need our mice to turn around a few times in order to do so. So, let's see. Well, this is a pretty long drop, so we want to use our jelly brick in order to have our mice survive. Like this, for instance. This way they will drop down, survive, walk down, walk back up, collect this crystal. And since we have a bomb, we can blow up not the jelly block, but the square block right here. This way this will drop down and make a passageway for our mice to collect this crystal. So let's do that first. So they drop down, walk down, go back up, collect the crystal. And once they've done that, we blow up the square brick. Because then we get this. Now they can collect this crystal and go the other way. Now, we want to have them pass over here. And there are 2 ways we can do that. We can use this one, but it's, if you ask me, it looks a little bit awkward. This looks like it makes more sense. Now, I know that isn't really all that good of an explanation, but usually once you see the solution, it makes sense. And this makes a lot more sense than putting this one in right here. Let's roll with it. Because now our mice will pass over, go under the cheese, and collect this crystal. But that's not all. We want them to go towards the cheese as well. And let's think about that for a minute. Because, how are we gonna do that? We only have 1 more brick. And how are we gonna position that in a way that our mice are gonna be able to collect the cheese? Well, we can't really. So we need a way to do something else. For instance, collect the bomb up here. How are we gonna do that? Well, we can, for instance, put our brick in like this, which makes a lot of sense on the first try. But if we do this, we have a bomb and we can blow up only 1 more brick. Which one would we have to blow up for our mice to get towards the cheese? Well, there's no solution to that, because we need at least 1 of our bricks to pass over here in order for our mice to even cross over this little gap here. So this isn't gonna work. What is gonna work, however, maybe this? Well, no, because now our mice will walk up towards this wall and they can't go up to collect the bomb. So our final solution is this. This way our mice will be able to go up and collect the bomb, and we can blow up this one underneath here. Now, sure, this little brick right here will drop into the acid, but the rest will not, so the rest will be spared. Let me show you. So, once we collected the bomb, we'll have our mice at least go down safely. And once we blow up this brick, this will drop into the acid, this will be destroyed, but the rest of it won't. And now we've got our bridge towards the cheese. And next. Okay, let's see. Well, we've got some acid we need to cross over, and we've got 1, 2, 3 crystals with a jelly block. Okay, let's see. Well, how are we gonna pass over the first one? Well, there is basically only one way. We need to build a bridge which is 4 squares long. We have 3 different bricks of 4 squares long, but only one of them is gonna cut it for us. The electric brick is gonna kill our mice, obviously, and the crumbling brick is only gonna allow 2 of our mice to go past. So we need the regular one. Now, for the second one, we don't only want to cross over, but we want to go up a little bit. So we can, for instance, use our electric brick right here and create a little bit of stairs to collect the crystal. This way our mice will not touch the electric brick. Now, let's see. We also want to collect this crystal. How are we going to do that? Well, we need our mice to pass over a little bit and then drop down. And we can do that like this, for instance. This way, at least the first mice will go over all the way and drop down onto the crystal. But then all 3 of our mice will be stuck down here. And that's not really convenient because we only have 1 more exploding brick. And this is timed, so we don't have a lot of time for our mice to go up. If we put this one down like this. So we preferably want only 1 of our mice to be down here in order to collect this crystal, and then only 1 of our mice can go up the exploding brick. But that means we are gonna have to replace this one and put it down a little bit different. For instance, like this. This way 2 of our mice will be able to cross over and the third one will drop down. And that's what we want, because if only 1 of them is down here, he can go up with the exploding brick towards the cheese. So we've got 1, number 2. 2 of our mice will cross over. The third one will drop down and survive because of the jelly. He will collect the crystal. And then we put down our exploding brick. Have him go up. And he'll survive because he's on his own. And there we are. Next. Okay, so we've got, again, some acid we need to cross over, a crystal over here, a crystal down here. And we've got 2 bombs. And let's see, 1 more crystal over here. Now, again, let's see what we have to do. Well, we have to cross over this little bit right here. And the easiest way to do that is this. Now, since we don't have any bombs yet, and we need, if we want to collect these 2, we at least have to pass through this electric wall. Well, we've learned how we get rid of that. We do this. This means we are also gonna have to split up our mice again, which we are gonna use 1 of these for. And that's fine, but we still have a little bit more to do over here. For instance, in order to collect this crystal, we are gonna need at least a square brick over here. A long brick isn't really gonna cut it here because it's only gonna block off the way towards the crystal. Now, what else do we have to do? Well, we have to build a stairs up towards here. Again, this is the easiest way to do it. A long brick isn't really gonna help us here. Which means, if we are gonna cross over here and have our mice be blocked off, we only have 1 more way to do so. Which is putting this one down like this, and this one we use as our wall. Notice that the way to collect this crystal right here is once this all blows up, this crystal will be freed in order to be collected. So, let's see. Let's block off our mice. Collect the first crystal. Have him activate the exploding bricks. So we get rid of the electric wall. Now, the crystal right here is free. So we can collect this one. And we also collect the bomb. Now we can use this one already to at least free our mice over here. Now we collect this crystal over here and go down towards the bomb. And once we've collected this bomb, we can blow up this brick in order to have our passageway towards the cheese be open. Like this. 1, 2. And our third one. There we go. So, 3, 3. Next. Okay, now to me, this was the hardest puzzle in the entire game. The first time I played through this one, it literally took me like 45 minutes to an hour to beat this one. It's really tricky. There are a few things we have to think about. For instance, we have 4 crystals and a redoid. And also some acid. Now, let's think for a minute, because the solution isn't really all that hard to find. We've got 1 bomb. So if one of our bricks is in the way, we can still blow them up. Think about that. Now, let's see. If one of our mice is up here, he can collect this crystal, but he's gonna drop down all the way down here. So there needs to be a little bit of jelly down here in order for him to survive. Well, we have 2 jelly bricks we can use. And we can use that as well to at least get rid of the redoid. So once our first mouse gets up here, he will survive his drop down. Now, if we start the level like this, our mice are just gonna drop down instantly. And that is actually a good thing, because it helps us split up our mice. We can't have all 3 mice go through the same route to collect all the crystals. So, if the first one starts dropping down, maybe we put down a little bit of a jelly block in order for him to at least be able to collect this crystal up here, because if we have one mouse collect this one and drop down, he will be able to collect this crystal already. So we don't have to put this one down here in order for our second mouse, for the mouse that drops down, to collect this one, because it's already going to be collected. Now there is still 1 crystal over here and our jelly block over here. Now we have still 1 bomb, so we can blow this one up. And we can collect this crystal afterwards. So all we need to do now is find a way to split up our mice in such a way that one of them at least goes down here and one of them goes up here. But we have 1 more brick we can put in like this, which we will put in after one of our mice has been dropped down. Like this and this. This way, these 2 crystals are collected. Our mice will drop down and collect this crystal over here. And we can blow up the jelly in order for this crystal here to be collected. And then our mice will go towards the cheese. This took me a lot of time. And it's not even really all that hard, but still. Next! Okay, let's see. We've got another acid pool down here. And 3 crystals, 2 of them being down here. Now let's think. We can split up our mice, having 1 or 2 of them go down here to collect these 2, and 1 of them or 2 of them go up here to collect this crystal. Which could work, but if we think about it, if we start building a bridge and a stairs at once, it is really gonna cost us cost us a lot of bricks in order to do so. So maybe we want to try something a little bit different. What we can try is go down and collect these two first, but then we need to find a way for our mice to get back up and then down again towards the cheese, which sounds a little bit cumbersome. So maybe we try and go up first, and then because we have a few crumbling bricks over here, we can then go down. See that we also have already a wall over here, which our mice can walk against in order to turn back. So, let's first start building our bridge upwards and maybe even have our redoids do a little bit of groundwork for us. For instance, if we put this like this and start building our stairs like this. Let's see what happens once these crumbling bricks are crumbled and this all drops down. Okay, so at least this is all free from the acid. And once our mice go up, they collect this crystal and go down. Now we need a way for them to walk against this wall, go back, collect all of this, and since we then collect a bomb, we can blow up this brick for our mice to go towards the cheese. Well, let's see, we only have 2 more bricks and we need to use them wisely. And let's see how we gonna do that. We can do something like this, for instance. This way, this will break down, that's fine. And if we put this one like this, we block ourselves off from the crystal. So this is not gonna work. Let's try the other way around. Let's try using this one over here. And then, well, this one isn't really gonna work like this, but it can work like this. This way, the bottom part will be destroyed, but that's fine. This way our mouse will still walk against the wall, turn back and collect everything over here, and then they go towards the cheese by blowing up this brick over here. And there we go. Next. Okay, we've got new bricks to build with, and these bricks will simply not be affected by the acid in any way. So if we put it down in the acid, they don't break down, and we can build bridges with it within the acid. Now we've already put down our first brick in order to collect the first crystal, but we have one also over here. So we need to find a way to build a bridge which crosses over the acid and also goes up high enough in order to collect this crystal. Well, let's see. We can do something like this, so we can at least collect this crystal. And now we still need to traverse this gap over here. Well, we have 2 more bricks over here, and maybe if we put this one down here and this one to finish our stairs. And there we have it. Pretty easy. If you ask me, every time they introduce a new mechanic, the puzzles tend to be a little bit easier at first than they were before they had a new mechanic introduced. But we are at the next. I almost forgot. Okay, 1, 2, 3 crystals and a lot of acid. But we've also got a lot of bricks that are gonna help us. Now, let's see. We wanna obviously go over, and if we think logically, we can traverse this by using only 1 brick. We can use only 1 brick over here. This looks like we are gonna have to use 2. And this one we can again do with only 1. And we have 5 bricks over here. So 1, 1, 2, 1 makes 5. How are we gonna do that? Well, let's start at the beginning. Which of these 5 bricks is gonna help us traverse this gap without touching the acid? This one maybe? Well, if we use this one, we could. And let's try. Now we've got another one over here. Which one is gonna do it here? Well, this one isn't really gonna help us because yes, we create a little bit of stairs, but within the acid, so this is not really gonna work. This one is. This one is gonna go up over the acid towards the next crystal. Now let's see. The most awkward one within all of our bricks is the square one, because it's the only one that is only 2 by 2 instead of crossing over 3 spaces. So this one is probably gonna be the one that is gonna be completely within the acid. And then we use another brick in order to actually go over. Now we only have 1 more brick. And unfortunately it isn't really gonna help us over here. Because this one is gonna drop down 1 space. So this isn't the solution for this one over here. Maybe this brick needs to be used somewhere else. And you've probably already found where to do so, which is all the way back at the beginning. Because if we use this one over here, we can use this one again over here, the square one down here, and have this one create our stairs, and then this brick is able to do this. This way our mice will be able to cross over the acid with no problem. Alright. Those are levels 51 to 60. Hopefully you found this useful, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!